Facing cancer was a journey I never thought I would have to embark on. As an office worker with a passion for numbers and spreadsheets, the news of my diagnosis shook me to the core. However, in the midst of the uncertainty and fear, I found solace and inspiration in an unexpected place: drawing. Sitting in the sterile white-walled room, a sense of surrealism washed over me as I awaited the results that would forever alter the trajectory of my life. My daily routine of crunching numbers and navigating through spreadsheets seemed trivial now. As I braced myself for what was to come, the doctor entered, his face a mask of professional empathy, and with a few words, my reality fractured. "You have cancer." The weight of those words settled heavily upon me, like an anchor dragging me into the depths of fear and uncertainty. The buzzing sound of the fluorescent lights above mingled with the doctor's continued explanations, treatments, prognosis, but all I could truly hear was the deafening roar of my own thoughts. How could this be happening to me? Was this some kind of mistake? In the days that followed, I found myself oscillating between a numbing denial and the crushing reality of my situation. I would catch myself staring blankly at the computer screen at work, my mind a million miles away, grappling with the implications of my diagnosis. The future I had envisioned for myself suddenly seemed like a fragile, distant dream. It wasn't just the fear of the illness itself that haunted me, but the dread of what the treatments would entail. The side effects, the toll on my body and mind, the disruption to my life and the lives of those I cared about. I felt as though I was standing on the precipice of an abyss, staring down into the unknown. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, a sliver of defiance began to stir within me. A determination not to be defined by my diagnosis, to find a way through the storm. It was this burgeoning resolve that eventually led me to pick up a pencil and turn to a blank canvas, seeking refuge in the strokes and shades of drawing. Little did I know then that this simple act of creativity would become my lifeline, a beacon of light guiding me through the darkest of times. During the whirlwind of appointments, treatments, and the relentless barrage of information about my condition, drawing became my sanctuary. I would retreat to a quiet corner of my home, where a blank canvas awaited me, offering a silent promise of escape. With each pencil in hand, I ventured into this sanctuary, away from the world of cancer that had consumed my life. It was here, amidst the array of colored pencils and the untouched surface of the canvas, that I discovered a profound sense of release. The act of drawing became a meditative process, each stroke a deliberate attempt to distance myself from the physical and emotional pain that had become my constant companions. The canvas allowed me to express the inexpressible, to articulate feelings that words could never fully capture. Initially, my hands would tremble, not just from the physical toll of the treatments, but from the uncertainty of expressing myself through art. I had always relied on numbers and data to communicate, living within the defined boundaries of spreadsheets. Yet, as I continued to draw, the lines I created began to tell a story, my story. The fear, the hope, the anger, and the resilience all found their way onto the canvas, each color representing a different facet of my journey. The more I drew, the more I found myself looking forward to these moments of solitude with my canvas. They became a vital part of my daily routine, a ritual that I clung to amidst the chaos of my life. The blank canvas, once an intimidating expanse, transformed into a familiar friend, one that listened without judgment and allowed me to be vulnerable. In this space, I was not a cancer patient. I was an artist, a creator of my own reality. The canvas became a reflection of my inner world, a world that was tumultuous and uncertain, yet also filled with moments of clarity and insight. Through my art, I was able to find a measure of peace and understanding, a way to navigate the emotional landscape of facing cancer. It was in this refuge that I rediscovered a part of myself that I thought was lost, and in doing so, found the strength to face each day with renewed hope and determination. As I embarked on this unexpected journey through the landscape of cancer, my initial sketches were tentative, almost hesitant, mere doodles that barely scratched the surface of my emotional state. Yet, as time passed and I continued to immerse myself in the act of creating, those simple lines and shapes began to morph into something more profound. The transformation was subtle at first, almost imperceptible, but with each new piece, I delved deeper into the complexities of my experience. My drawings evolved from abstract forms to intricate compositions that captured the essence of my struggle and resilience. It was as though the act of drawing had unlocked a door within me, allowing me to explore the depths of my emotions in a way I had never thought possible. Fear, hope, despair, and courage spilled onto the canvas, each brushstroke a testament to the turmoil and triumphs that defined my journey with cancer. This evolution from doodles to deep reflections was not merely an artistic endeavor. It was a therapeutic process that enabled me to confront my feelings head-on. In the solitude of my art space, I engaged in silent dialogues with myself, asking questions for which there were no easy answers. Through this introspection, I gained insights into my own resilience, discovering an inner strength that I had previously overlooked. My artwork became a visual diary, a chronicle of my battle with cancer that was both intensely personal and universally relatable. The colors, textures, and forms that emerged were my way of communicating the indescribable, of making sense of the chaos that had enveloped my life. Each piece was a step forward on the path to healing, a marker of progress in my ongoing quest to find meaning amidst adversity. In this journey from doodles to deep reflections, I realized that art had given me a powerful voice. A voice to express the inexpressible, to share my story in a way that transcended words. Through this creative expression, I not only navigated the complexities of my diagnosis, but also connected with the shared human experience of facing life's greatest challenges. The journey of creation, for me, unfolded in the most unexpected manner. Each drawing session became a sort of meditation, a place where the chaos of the world outside and the turmoil within could be silenced, if only for a moment. This act of creating became my sanctuary, a sacred space where I could pour out my emotions without the need for words, where my fears and hopes could coexist without judgment. In the beginning, the physical act of drawing was a challenge, my body weakened by treatments and my hands often unsteady. Yet, there was a profound sense of achievement in each line drawn, each color laid down on the canvas. It was as if with every stroke I was reclaiming a part of myself that had been overshadowed by the diagnosis. The focus required to create provided a respite from the constant, nagging worries about the future, about my health. It anchored me to the present, to the act of living and not merely existing. Gradually, I began to see changes not just in my art, but in myself. There was a newfound resilience, a strength that I drew from the very process of creating. It was as if the act of pouring my soul onto the canvas had fortified it, made it more resilient. The hours I spent in creation became my most powerful weapon against the despair that often threatened to overwhelm me. In those moments, I was no longer a patient undergoing treatment. I was an artist, mastering the art of living despite cancer. This transformative power of creating didn't just help me cope with the physical and emotional toll of cancer, it redefined my relationship with it. No longer was I fighting against something. Instead, I was growing through it, learning lessons of patience, resilience, and hope that I would carry with me long after the last treatment ended. Creating art amidst the battle with cancer taught me that healing isn't always about curing. Sometimes, it's about experiencing life in all its depths and finding joy in the act of expression, no matter the circumstances. As the collection of my paintings began to swell, it felt only natural to step beyond the solitary comfort of my studio and into the broader community. Holding an exhibition which I decided to title The Canvas of Life, A Journey Through Cancer, was a leap of faith. This collection, an intimate portrayal of my battle, was now open for the world to see, interpret, and possibly find resonance within. The unveiling of my journey was met with an unexpected outpouring of emotion and connection. Visitors walked from piece to piece, often pausing for longer than I anticipated, and I could see reflections of their own battles flicker in their eyes. Some shared stories of their own struggles with cancer, while others recounted tales of loved ones who faced similar fights. It was as if my paintings had become a language through which we could communicate our most profound fears and hopes. One of the most striking realizations during the exhibition was the universality of suffering and the unique ways in which we seek to overcome it. My art had unwittingly become a conduit for these shared experiences, bridging gaps between strangers and forging a silent bond of understanding and support. It was deeply humbling to witness how the expressions of my personal journey could touch the lives of others in such a profound way. This experience reinforced my belief in the power of sharing one's story, however vulnerable that may make us feel. Art, in its myriad forms, has the unique ability to transcend the personal and speak to the collective, offering solace and inspiration even in the most trying of times. As I continue to navigate the aftermath of my diagnosis and treatment, the feedback and connections from the exhibition serve as a constant reminder of the strength found in community and the healing power of self-expression. As my artworks began to resonate within the community, I inadvertently wove myself into the tapestry of individuals whose lives had been touched by cancer. The dialogues that ensued were both heartening and profound, allowing us to share our narratives of struggle, resilience, and hope. In this sacred space of mutual understanding, I found companionship among fellow warriors, each of us fighting our battles, yet united by a common thread. The connections forged through these shared experiences were unexpectedly deep and supportive. We discussed not just the challenges we faced, but also the moments of unexpected joy and the small victories that kept us going. There was a certain solace in knowing that others understood the complex emotions and physical trials that accompany cancer, an unspoken bond that transcended the need for explanations. Our exchanges often revolved around how we coped with our diagnosis and treatments, and in these conversations my journey with art frequently emerged as a beacon of hope. I was surprised and humbled by how many found inspiration in my story, expressing a desire to explore their own forms of creative expression. It was as if my canvas had become a mirror reflecting not just my own soul, but also the shared resilience of those around me. This interconnected web of warriors, each with their unique story, reinforced the idea that while cancer could take a toll on our bodies, it could not diminish our spirit. In listening and being heard, in sharing our fears and our dreams, we each found a kind of healing that went beyond the physical. We were a constellation of survivors, illuminating each other's paths with our shared experiences and collective strength. Engaging with fellow cancer warriors in this way was both a privilege and a pivotal moment in my journey. It reminded me that while the road might be fraught with uncertainty, none of us had to navigate it alone. Together, we were stronger, bolstered by the courage and compassion that flowed freely within our community. Becoming an artist was a transformation I never anticipated, a metamorphosis that unfolded in the shadows of my battle with cancer. Before this journey, my life was neatly compartmentalized, defined by the clarity of numbers and the predictability of office routines. Art, with its boundless expressions and the vulnerability it demanded, seemed a world apart from the one I inhabited. Yet, as cancer upended the life I knew, it inadvertently nudged me into realms of creativity I had never dared to explore. With each day spent in treatment, each moment of solitude and reflection, I gravitated more towards the canvas and pencils as my means of communication, of making sense of the chaos that had besieged me. It was an unexpected pivot from an individual grounded in the tangible and the calculable to one immersed in the fluid and the abstract. This journey into art was not just about finding a hobby to occupy my time. It became an essential part of my healing process, a conduit for emotions too complex to verbalize. The irony was not lost on me, that a diagnosis as grim as cancer could be the catalyst for such a profound discovery of self. Through art, I began to see the world, and my place within it, through a different lens. Colors became more vivid, not just on the canvas but in everyday life. Shapes and textures spoke to me in ways they never had before, conveying messages of resilience, hope, and the beauty that lies in imperfection. This evolution into an artist was as surprising to me as it was to those who knew me. Friends and family, accustomed to the analytical, pragmatic person I once was, marveled at the depth and emotion captured in my artwork. In their reactions, I saw not just surprise but a rekindling of their own aspirations, a reminder that it is never too late to uncover new facets of ourselves. In this unexpected chapter of my life, I learned that creativity can bloom from the most unlikely of places, offering a sanctuary of peace and a medium for understanding. My encounter with cancer, while fraught with challenges, gifted me an artistic voice I never realized I possessed, teaching me that even amidst adversity, there lies the potential for transformation and growth. My journey with cancer, intertwined with the discovery of my passion for art, imparted profound lessons that reshaped my outlook on life. The canvas became more than just a medium for my artwork. It emerged as a teacher, imparting wisdom through each brushstroke and color choice. One of the most significant lessons was the transformative power of self-expression. Through art, I unearthed a way to navigate the complexities of my emotions, finding a voice when words failed me. This process of creation taught me that expressing oneself in any form is not only cathartic but also vital for healing. I also came to understand that vulnerability, often seen as a weakness, is in fact a profound strength. By laying bare my fears, hopes, and struggles on the canvas, I not only embarked on a journey of personal healing, but inadvertently offered solace to others navigating their own battles. This shared vulnerability became a source of connection and strength, reminding me that we are not alone in our experiences. Another lesson was the importance of resilience and the capacity to find beauty in adversity. Each piece I created was a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and thrive despite the challenges we face. Art taught me to appreciate the nuances of life, finding joy in the simplest of moments, and beauty in the imperfections. These lessons, learned on the canvas, extend far beyond the confines of my studio. They are reminders of the enduring power of the human spirit, the importance of connection, and the transformative potential of embracing our vulnerabilities. Through art, I found not only a way to heal, but also a new way to see the world and my place within it. As my journey with cancer transitions into a chapter of remission and recovery, I find myself reflecting on the transformative experiences that have reshaped my perspective. Moving forward, I am committed to applying the invaluable lessons learned through art and adversity to my everyday life. Embracing each day with gratitude, I intend to seek out and savor the beauty that surrounds us, often hidden in the mundane. My encounter with cancer has instilled in me a deeper appreciation for the fleeting nature of life, encouraging me to live more fully and expressively. The resilience and creativity I've discovered within myself will continue to fuel my endeavors, both personally and professionally. As I navigate this next phase, I am inspired to explore new horizons, engage with life's challenges with a renewed sense of hope, and share my story with others. By doing so, I aim to offer support and inspiration to those who might be embarking on their own journeys of healing and self-discovery. The path ahead is uncharted, but I am ready to embrace it with the same courage and determination that guided me through my battle with cancer.